What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video of mine. Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. It means a lot that you guys keep clicking. If you guys keep clicking, I'll keep making it. Today, we are going to be talking about the power rankings. This is our fourth week now we're doing this. I mean, it feels like we started doing this like last week. It's been it's almost almost a month. In fact, no, we're a month in. Oh, no. We're like a week away from it being a month into Survivor, which is insane. I think, I mean, I don't know about you, but like it shocked me just thinking back to how long we waited for the season and how quick it's going by already.
I mean, yeah, we knew about the season since basically like May or April, something like that, right?
Yeah,
And now it's like actually finally here, and like now it's like a regular schedule of ours to be talking about Survivor. Just feels so surreal.
correct. I agree. I think it's a matter of like it's almost like it was so unfathomable, but like it was so unfathomable that this could ever air for like actually air that it almost like became like this. Oh, it's never going to actually air. We're going to talk about it forever. Like we're going to talk about like what could happen, but it's never going to actually happen. And then it actually aired, and it was like, oh my god, like Survivor is like real. It's not like a conspiracy. Like what the actual episodes air on TV? What?
I know,
So
right?
yeah,
That's crazy.
I mean, and I think that's a great transition right into the show itself. What are your thoughts on the season so far? I know I watched the specialists and they were super negative on episode 3, very negative. And whereas I was pretty positive. I know you and Underdog were kind of in middle of the pack, and Snuff liked it. So I'm curious to see what we're thinking for the season so far from your perspective, and then
Oh,
I'll give my argument.
yeah. I think episode 3 was a rebound episode. Like, I didn't think like episode 2
I
was like a
agree.
horrible episode of Survivor. I don't get why like all the Survivor community is like trash on the season. It's like they want the season to be bad or something. I think it's
Yeah.
been pretty strong. Like, I get that Beware advantages like aren't like necessarily the best thing, but like just have fun with the season. Like it's just
Yeah.
everyone's trashing on the season, and I get it. Like the Brewer advantages like aren't the best thing ever, but like
Yeah.
it's I don't think it's a deal breaker necessarily for the season. And we've gotten like funny scenes because of the Brewer advantages with like
I
uh
agree.
the butterflies and broccoli, which Brad totally butchered, but that's made it even more funny. I think people are
Yeah.
being way too harsh on the season. I think a lot of people had super unrealistic expectations for this season,
I
and
agree
I
so
feel
hard
like
on that.
it's just showing how like I guess I don't want to say like dumb, but like I guess how much the Survivor community misread what the season was gonna be. Like
Yeah.
I felt like this season has to be the best season ever, or else it's trash. I think it's been a pretty strong season so far, and I think people should just try to have fun with the season and not constantly be negative about it.
I think that's a great take. I think it's that we came in with such high hopes, like it had to be like because like all out of all the new school seasons, like the Davis Glass is obviously like the big one, right? It's like the only good. Like everyone says, like the only really good one. Like and like, I feel like people went in thinking it has to be even better than Dave vs Goliath, which is like if I think Dave vs Goliath is like the best season ever, which I kind of do, that means that you're saying a season has to be the best season ever for it to be good. No, that's not how seasons work. I was hoping for maybe a top 20 season. Honestly, even a top 30 season would have been like acceptable for me. So I mean, to see people complaining about a season that had probably one of, if not the best premiere maybe in the show's history, like complain about that, and then okay, yes, maybe episode 2 was a little bit dreary, just following that Yase kind of depressing type of vibe. But then this episode came right back into kick, and I actually liked that there were we got moments with Luvu and Ua. Like we actually got those moments, and now we kind
Hmm.
of didn't get the Acid Tribe, but that was okay because we got so much of them last episode that it kind of made up for not getting in this episode. So I actually like that they spread the screen time around. And then they bring the same arguments, but then they'll prove their own selves wrong because they'll be like, oh, Erica and Heather so boring, and then their next argument is, oh, Erica and Heather being so under edited. I want to see more of them, but what? But you just
They're
said they're
boring
boring.
though. Yeah, you just
Yeah,
said they're
they're
boring.
boring.
I
So is
feel
it
like
which one is it?
I feel like a lot of the Survivor community is very hypocritical because like they're always
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Jeff Probst isn't gonna listen to us." Well, you're always being so like freaking negative about Survivor for Survivor fans. You're always being so
Yep.
negative. So like, no wonder why Jeff Probst doesn't want to listen to you because whatever you do is probably gonna get some backlash from the community. Oh, this
Yep.
person got swap screwed. Oh my god. Oh well, no swap. Oh, there's no swap. Like
Yep.
it's kind of sad to see the state of the Survivor community. But I, for one, so far am very happy with the season. I don't care if it's recency
Me too.
bias, just as long as I have Survivor on my screen, I'm happy. And knowing that we at least have confirmed now until Survivor 44 is a really great feeling.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like for now, yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. We're confirmed to have Survivor through 2023, which is fantastic feeling. We're at least getting Survivor all the way through the spring of 2023, even into the summer, which is a great feeling. I really think we should all like take a moment to appreciate the fact that we're already halfway through the 40s right now, basically. Which is like a
Mhm.
weird thought to say it, like think it out loud, but we really are almost halfway through the 40s already, even though we literally just started the 40s. Because technically, all the seasons pre 45 have been greenlit, which is awesome. Greenlit or already filmed. And I mean, I think that's a great segue into the episode itself. How did you feel about this specific episode, like this episode?
Okay, well, first of all, everyone, I would like everyone to know that rest assured, I was able to finally watch the
Yeah,
tribal
yeah.
council, watched it, and I stayed
Why don't
strong, and I
you?
was able to watch it. I was so great, and yeah, I think the episode. My thoughts about the episode is that yeah, it was a good episode. I think a little bit disappointed that Brad went home, but like Brad was technically right about his statement. You either play hard or you don't win, and sometimes it doesn't always work, but you'll never know if you never try. And Brad, I think, even though very, very messy player, was such a fun character to watch. And I'm kind of sad to see him go, but still very, very fun character on Survivor.
I agree. I think Brad served his purpose. Now I wish Brad could have gone maybe to merge and then
Hmm.
got booted out then because he like overplayed himself out of the merge vote. That would probably be more fun because it would be more amplified and we get more opinions on like how crazy Brad is. But instead we only got like a few opinions on how crazy Brad is. But like I wish he had done that type of like spy shack thing at the merge. Like that would have been much more cool, and then I would have been satisfied with my Brad like story arc. I mean, I feel like it's kind of cut short, but at the same time, I like that they're editing the people who are going home in different ways. Like, I feel like people who are trying to read the edit, me included, I'm stumped every single time. Like, it seems so obvious every single time, and I'll always text you, and I'll always be like, it's obviously going to be JD because they're giving him like the Dodo music, and they Jeff and Chantel are roasting him at the challenge and back at camp, and he got caught. Like and he gave away his advantage. It's just like Eric Reichenbach. Like everything's being set up, and then it just gets like it's like all of a sudden it's Brad. It's like what? Like so I've been shocked at Sarah, Voce, and Brad. I've been completely fooled by the edit each time, which I'm so like happy about, I guess in a way, because it's not fooled in a way where I'm like mad. It's fooled in a way where I'm like happily excited. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so I feel like the way the season's being edited as well is very very impressive, and I do appreciate the fact that the editors probably sat down and really did like their homework for the season and like said how can we make these votes that probably would be pretty boring in theory. Like think about it, the Abraham vote boring, and it was boring, but that's okay because it, it
But
was it was
like,
it
it
was
was hard
premiere.
for that one to not be boring. I'm gonna be
Of course, of
honest.
course, of course. And then Sarah, from what we hear post game from Sarah, it was actually a really really obvious Sarah boot just because she didn't do good in the challenge and they just didn't want to have her around. But they made it like the most entertaining vote yet. You know what I mean? And then with the Voce boot, it's just simply the women voting out a dude because the women's alliance is continuing to put on the men. That's not fun. But
Boom!
but but
Big
but but, but
blindside.
but yeah, but that's not fun. But they made a super super fun vote where I was shocked. And this past vote, it was just Chantel and Ricard picking a side. That's not necessarily like that crazy, but they made it super super fun. And so I think the editors have been making something out of nothing when it comes to the pre-tribal strategy and really hyping up um, uh, the viewer's perspective of certain people in order to really shock the viewer. Do you have any more thoughts until we get into our power rankings?
Oh yeah, I think most of the blindsides that we've had this season, like they're not blindsided, like they're
Yeah.
not blindsiding us just to like be blindsided. Like there's a bunch of us where like no one knew, right?
Yep.
Where
Yep.
for what was happening. These are like I can guarantee that there's like a good amount of people that thought Brad was gonna go home, and we just
Yeah.
thought JD was gonna go home. So it's not like blindsiding where oh we're gonna absolutely blindside the viewer, we're not even gonna tell them why they voted for this person. It's like no, each time the voters happen, we we know why it
We know
happened.
why.
We just
Yeah.
might have not thought it was going to be that person. Like we knew that Voce was a target to get voted out. We just didn't know if it was going to be Xander or Voce or
Correct.
Tiffany. But like
Yeah.
that's just how it is. So yeah, I mean, there's probably people that guess it was going to be Brad. There's probably people that guess it was going to be Sarah. So like, it's just us having a bad reader. I don't know, but yeah. So I've been liking the season, and if you like the season, don't go to the Survivor Reddit because it's just a bunch of people that don't actually like Survivor there.
I've been on the Reddit. I've honestly taken 100%. I'm not going to Reddit. I haven't been to Reddit since the season started airing because one,
Hmm.
spoilers, and two, I hear
It's a
it's
bad
negative over
vibe.
there.
It's a bad
Yeah,
vibe. Honestly, it's just a bad
yeah.
vibe.
I go on Reddit off season. I go on the Reddit in the off season, like
Hmm.
early off season. Once like the real stuff's like I feel like about like after the actual cast release is the last time I went on Reddit. So about like 2 months ago now. I was on Reddit all off season, but I
Hmm.
feel like once the real preseason starts, that's when you have to get off Reddit. One, for spoilers, if you're like a literal Survivor YouTuber like me, especially, and then
Hmm.
also just for the fact that it seems like a really negative place that can
Oh
shape your
yeah.
opinions. Like just
Hmm.
I mean, and then you have like I mean I don't mean this trash on the specialists. I think they're a great channel, but I mean I tune into the recap. I usually like I love the recap more than the know-it-alls, more than reality pop, more than even my own. I genuinely love like the specialist recap, and I tuned in,
Yeah.
and they almost turned me to their side. Like they almost
Yeah.
made me
It's just
like
not a
hate
vibe.
the episode. And then I realized, no, hold on. No, I liked it for a reason, and I liked it, and that's it. That's my opinion. They were just trashing on the episode. Like I don't know if you've seen it, but
I
I
haven't.
watched it. Yeah, you
I
should
kind of
watch like
stopped watching Specialists a
you
little
did.
while ago. I just
Ah,
wasn't. I don't know. I just kind of like wasn't getting the vibe from them. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I think that they've been relatively good. I do think they're a little bit unprepared sometimes, but that's okay.
Hmm.
But I feel like overall, like they were super negative on the episode. Like I'm talking the entire, and they only podcasted for like 39 minutes. Like they didn't even
That's
go
not
for
a
like an hour.
podcast if it's 39 minutes.
Yeah,
What?
no, because they were like, get us out of here. Like they were so mad. They could barely
They're
get
just
through the
mad that
ad
Brad
read.
went home. Honestly, they're just Brad
That's
stands
what the,
probably.
the people said in the comments. And they're like, no, and they like they had this whole argument. Like they were genuinely like frustrated about the amount of advantages. They were like ranting. I mean, they didn't like it, and so
R-
and
What?
that's fine. I just like when you make the whole stream negative. That's when I have to like be like But again,
Like
I mean, I did watch the entire thing, and like it's not going to change the fact that I'll watch the whole thing because loyal fans will stay for whatever. But and like in the comments, like everyone was disagreeing with them, but like half the people were like, I understand why you feel that way, and even though I
but I
disagree,
disagree. But I
yeah,
disagree.
exactly.
Right.
Well, and even though I disagree, I'm still going to support you. That's
Hmm.
that's the mindset people should have. Is not like be alienating to people who disagree with you on the season, but also not just kind of bend to everyone's opinion and just start agreeing with every opinion you
Hmm.
hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Well, this
Let's
is,
go to
I
power
mean,
rankings.
it's too powering. So now we're at 1 through 14. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
It feels like we were at one through 18 like a
Hmm.
day ago. And now we're down to 14.
Wow.
So how we do it here on our channel, I know most channels go from 1 to 14.
They do.
We do it. Yeah, most the specialists go from 1 to 14. I
Hmm.
know Rob
That
has a podcast does one
that's
to
kind of
14. Yeah.
weird. I
Well,
I, I
because
would say
they
that's kind of
like
weird.
start with the dominant and they go to like the people who are about to get voted out. Oh no, like anticipation. I personally like going from the people who are going to get voted out to the people who are really dominating, so we can end on a positive note. And
Yeah,
so,
we got in on
yeah,
that positive
so
note. Survivor
exactly.
specialist, take notes. All right.
Okay. So if you haven't been here before, again, also subscribe. But if you haven't watched one of these, basically what we do is at 14 is the player that we think is playing the worst game right now, aka the person who's going to go home. Usually those two align, but sometimes they don't, and then you can kind of have your prerogative as to which one you want to go with. But usually it's just the person who's overall playing the worst, which is usually the person who's about to go home. And then one is the person who's playing the best, aka the person who's going to win, aka the person who's not going to go home. Whatever you
Mhm.
really feel like. But overall, just the players who play the best game are at lower numbers, meaning at ones, twos, threes, fours, and the players who are playing the worst games are at 14s, 13s, 12s, whatever. All right, let's get into it. My
Let's go.
14,
Mhm.
I'm going to start out dropping. I mean,
We don't have underdog.
we
We don't
don't
have
have
the math.
underdog here.
We
He
don't
always
have
says
math
all the math.
man.
He
No.
always says all the math. Underdogs has a baseball game. I think they has to get to, but
Track something.
track. There you go. He has to track me. I hope he's speedy. I hope he's faster than Brad going down the beach. I hope he's
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
fast.
good luck. He'll do our math after. He'll do our math. So
We'll
this
do
is
our
why.
math after, and I mean, it's gonna be a lot of math because JD dropped a bunch of spots for me. JD's at
Oh
14
yeah.
for me. JD at
Wow.
14. So I look at JD, especially okay, JD has a terrible episode. This is JD's worst episode. This is the worst episode that anybody's had at all.
Yeah.
Even the Boots had better had better episodes than JD's episode here. So the entire episode, we get the confessional about him yelling at the camera, being like, "I can't find it." That's his most positive content from the episode. It only gets worse.
I think it was a bit of a joke, but still, yeah. It was like, I
Yeah,
still haven't found it.
and that's what I'm saying is that's like his most positive content is like because you can tell the editors are just joking around, and that's the most positive content he has because it's all downhill from there. So we get nothing from him during the idol find. We get no like conversations with him, so we don't get any building bonds and any of that. We don't get a confessional positive like talking about his family or something like that. We really start to hear about him at what? Good.
Tribal Council. We kind of had that little part where
that's also when I thought they were like doing the same thing that
they did with Voce.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, and that wasn't good either. But hold on. Let's back up. That's a challenge. He gets both the Dodo music and Jeff yelling at him and Shan yelling at him. Not only saying you're doing bad, but saying no NBA stuff. Let's go. Like that, like they really roasted this man, bro. Yeah, she was.
They really did roast that man.
NBA stuff. Stop the NBA stuff. Just do it. Like
I think he got more offended by it because of his short stature, but it's
yeah. I don't know about that, but and shout out JD if you're watching. But I think so. JD got huge negative content there, right? He got the Dodo music, he got Jeff yelling at him, he got Shan yelling at him, and they're like really making fun of him too. Then he gets back to camp, and we get him just like, this is like terrible. This is terrible content. Like as far as like them showing this is terrible because immediately we see him just kind of like nonchalantly, very like socially unawarely, if that's a word, just kind of strolling along. At least this is how it's presented to us, and then his advantage is right there. He's just sagging his pants. It doesn't care, and like he is right in front of his allies, and they're like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh no, okay, come here." Like he gets like the complete bozo dumb edit, which is not what you want. And so then he goes off. He's like, "Yeah, I have to come clean." And then even there, he's like half doing it. He's not coming clean. He's saying like, "Oh yeah, I guess I have to come clean." They're like, "No, we caught you, JD." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're right." Like I feel like he's getting such negative content there that it is not good for him at all. And then after that, he's like, "Well, I guess I'm indebted to you. I guess I belong to you." That's terrible content. And then at Tribal, he gets like the Voce treatment, and so it's just overall terrible episode for him. And that's why I have to have him at bottom spot here. Plus, he's not on Lubu, so it's not like
he's not on Lubu.
Yes, and so it's not like he can depend on just winning challenges. Sooner or later, his tribe is going to lose a challenge because if the pre-merge is going to go for what, like maybe 2 or 3 more boots. So 2 or 3 more boots. There's no way that I mean, there's no way that Yasi loses all of those, and lose obviously not going to lose, and that leaves Ua to lose at least one challenge. And I think when they do, JD's going to have his work ahead of him. And then on top of that, to top everything off, I just said, he gets the next time on Survivor. It's him and Shan yelling at each other, arguing.
You don't yell at Shan.
Yeah.
You don't yell at Shan.
Perfect idea. Yell at the freaking mafioso of your tribe. Yeah, that's exactly what you want.
Yeah, the person that saved you 2 votes in a row.
Yeah,
go yell
literally.
at them.
Just yell at her, and then in confessional, he's like, and then on top of that, even more negative. I can keep going. Even more negative.
Oh my God.
Even more negative. He says in confessional, she's like, she played me, which makes me think that she's not going to give back his advantage, and that he's going to feel played by that. And if that's the case, he's really fricked. I'll try and keep PG so I can.
He's really fricked.
I try and keep it PG so I won't get any community guideline. But yeah, I mean, he's really screwed up if he's also getting that negative moment where he loses his advantage because Shan's not going to give it back. That would be so bad. So yeah, that's my argument for why JD is just simply like has to be bottom for me at least.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I was actually surprised that Chantel kept JD because Brad
Yeah, me too.
willingly showed the advantages to her
That's true.
while JD had to like, oh, I guess I'll show it to you. No, the only reason why you're showing it to her is because she freaking found you with it like in your pants like a freaking moron. Like,
Yeah,
how did you not see that? I
I
was really
think.
surprised by that. I was like, dude, Brad showed you not one, two of his advantages. Brad's a competent human being. Like, he knows that could backfire. That means he must really freaking trust you if he wants to show you two advantages, and you throw it in the trash over a guy who just had
Yeah.
his extra vote in his pants, and the only reason why you know about it is because he accidentally had it out in his pants when he's supposed to be your number one. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, for me, I think it just shows how strong JD's bond with her is and how smart JD was to make
It's
that
about to
bond
not be that
because
strong.
if he didn't make that bond, he's gone twice over now. He's gone like edge of extinction. He's off edge of extinction. Like that's how many times he's gone. Like
Yeah, they don't even give
he's
him the choice. He just
they
goes straight
he
home.
just goes. He just yeah. They're like it's one thing. It says leave. Just one word. That's all it says at the crossroad. It's just one path, and it's just it's not even a crossroad. It's just a sign that says go this way. You suck. You know that's literally that's how bad is that. Like literally, if she's not there, he's gone twice over now. Twice because the
Mm-hmm.
first time he had to get up a tribal and to talk with her and save his life basically. And even if he didn't have to save his life, him and Shan made the choice to vote out Sarah. And then here we have a even more blatant where it's Shan being the swing vote and Shan telling Ricard what to do, and then they went to JD's side when it was not in her favor to do that. Honestly, if I'm her, what I do is I tell Brad the same thing is that JD just gave me an advantage, and if you don't give me your extra vote, I'm going to vote you off. And so give me
Mm-hmm.
that, and I'll keep you. And then you vote off JD, keep JD's advantage, and then also keep Brad's. Or no, give Brad his back, and then keep JD's advantage. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's the thing is, that's how in control of this tribe Shane is. So Ricard's just following her around like a puppy dog. Jeannie isn't even a player. She's
I don't
just
even.
like,
Yeah, she's kind of vibing. She's just there.
yeah. She's just, no, she's not even there. She's like on a different island, like figuratively on a different island. She probably would never get picked to actually go on the other island.
Yeah, I
And
wouldn't
then
think so.
and then as far as JD goes, obviously JD can't do anything because Ricard hates his guts. Jeannie is on her own island, and that leaves again. Now I think Chantel's now where Evie was last week, where there's just no mathematical chance she goes home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Agreed,
Yeah.
agreed, agreed.
Yep, 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 yep.
I never even said this, but I mean, yeah. JD is also my 14. A lot like
Yeah.
this is a total like 180 from what he was in the premiere. Just
Yeah.
completely like all the positive stuff in the premiere. I was born after the show. It was aired 2000, born 2001. Now it's like super negative and stuff.
Yeah.
And the person that just saved you like two tribal councils in a row, you do not be mad at them. Now, I do think JD has a possible out if he's able to convince Chantel that Ricard's a little
Yeah.
sneaky, but I just
I
don't
agree
know.
because
But
or if they just say let's vote out Jeannie because she's gonna flip on us at a merge.
mhm.
I think that those are his two options because he's not blindsiding Chantel. I maybe actually hold on if he goes with Jeannie and they
That's a
both vote
tie though.
Ricard.
That's at most at a tie.
I know, but honestly, in this situation, yeah. But then, what are you gonna do with Jeannie post merge? She's like not even your ally. Yeah,
I just don't see him flipping on Chantel at this point. Even though it's
yeah,
like you played me, I think it's smart enough to player to realize that he
I
probably needs Chantel at this point, unless like
yeah.
possibly he does like a 2-1-1 where like he convinces Chantel to vote for Jenny, and then he gets Jenny and him to vote for no, he convinces. I'm not the math guy. I'm sorry.
So
He can
if he convince her to vote Ricard and say,
yeah,
okay, let's flip on Ricard.
and
Jeannie
then
votes for
Ricard votes
whoever.
Jenny.
Hold on. Jeannie votes forever, and then him and Jeannie just sneak into two votes for Chantel. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
mean that could
that
possibly work
that
if,
with that now that would be a genius move. That would be
but I
genius.
don't think that's gonna happen.
But
Honestly,
I
I'm gonna be
think the
honest.
the the, the hardest part of that is at the beginning, convincing her to vote out Ricard. There's no
Mhm.
way. At this point, his
I
only
think there is
shot
a
is if
way.
I think his only shot is convincing her to vote out Genie.
I don't know, cause like, well,
Because why
it's
in the world would she vote out Ricard over Genie?
well, I don't know.
Who is
It's
Genie
like
going? What is Genie gonna do for her? Genie's gonna flip in the merge. Ricard isn't. Ricard's her puppy dog right now.
well, I don't know, cause like we've seen, yeah, that like Ricard and like her together, but like we haven't got anything like it's like making them feel like super connected. It's just kind of like, oh, they're together. Like
Sure.
nothing really like right now is really like, oh, like they're the best of mates. They're like peanut butter and jelly on a sandwich. I don't know how I was saying. I don't. I like
Okay.
we haven't gotten that. They're just kind of like, oh, they're just working together. Like it's not like they're like that tied together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
kind of like how in the last episode it really seemed like JD and Chantel were tied together. It just kind of seemed like Ricard and Chantel just happened to be in the same alliance and they're just kind of talking to each other. So I think it's possible that that could happen. And also, I this like I don't like know like this or anything like that, but I feel like Yasser's about to have like a comeback. Honestly, I just got that kind of from the edit this episode.
Yeah.
I feel like Yasser might actually get the win the next immunity challenge, and Ua might go straight back to
Or
tribal council, or even
or
Luvu. They throw the challenge, bruh. What happened?
or Yase just like has a pause in their oolong story, and that they just have a pause for one tribal, and they just keep losing again
I
until
don't
it's like
know,
Evie and maybe Xander left on the
but
tribe
there's
because.
also now the possibility that like I know this sounds crazy, but like Luvu
Hmm.
might lose. They throw the challenge, but again, it could be like in
Yeah,
Brains versus Bronze versus Beauty, where Yasser and Ua suck so
exactly,
badly that
exactly.
they even though they try to throw the challenge, they still win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. So really, what it is it comes down to Danny. If Danny doesn't want to throw it, he can win the challenge on his own.
Hmm.
And the girls probably don't want to throw it either. And so if
I think it's
Deshaun's
just Deshaun.
yeah, Deshaun is just trying to talk to Danny and saying, okay, us two, let's just throw the challenge, us two, and then the rest of the tribe will just think we lost for like regular. So if the girls aren't participating in the throw, they'll be on the puzzle like going OD sweat on the puzzle. And then if Danny doesn't want to throw it, then he can do the physical part himself. That means that they win either way. So he has to convince Danny that Danny wants to throw the challenge as well, because Danny in confessional in the next time on says like, as a professional athlete, I
That's a
don't know about
sin.
throwing a challenge. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And so it's like, does that and then after that does he say but it makes sense, or period, that's it, that's all it is, you know?
Yeah. It could be like the one where they bamboozle us, kind of like they did with
Yeah.
Nasir. Even though I mean, really they didn't, because now they just trash him again. It's
I
like
honestly
it's a
think that
sin.
Lulu's not gonna lose one challenge, because they would have shown that scene with Heather and Sydney if because
True.
that's
Well,
such an
unless
important
Heather
scene.
doesn't go. If Heather
Unless
doesn't go,
unless that's just some red herring, but it happened. It's not like it just didn't happen. Like that happened.
mhm.
That's important. Even if Heather or Sydney doesn't go, that's a fun and important scene. But if no one ever goes home from this tribe, it makes no sense to show that, right? So I feel like
I guess
the
so. Mm.
I generally think that no one goes home from this tribe, and that's why they don't show it. Is that they probably merge maybe either let's say it's 6 Luvu, 4 Ua, because that's where it is now, and then 2 Yase. That would be what, 12? Yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, I guess like yeah, I guess I could potentially see that. And I mean like also I just I don't know, with Danny on the tribe, Danny like is obviously like really like, really like a guy that really probably doesn't want I feel like Danny has a little bit of a old school thought process of Survivor,
Yeah,
if I had to guess.
not
And
as not
not as like
necessarily.
old school as
Yeah,
like
as
most people, but like
Abraham,
for
like Abraham
41,
is.
for like 41, I think he has more of like an old school thought process
Yeah,
than someone like a JD, someone like a Chantel.
yeah.
So I feel like it might be a little bit hard for him to throw a challenge, but and also like throwing the challenges, like just if you look at the statistics, like usually isn't a good decision.
Yeah.
If you just look at the statistics on
I mean, the
where it's
only
been.
times I can think of when it worked out is like Ozzy throwing it before they swapped in cookdowns. Mike throwing it in Worlds Apart to get out Rodney's ally. And can you think of any other ones that I haven't?
I
I don't
don't know.
remember.
I drew Christie through the challenge because he's a manipulator of the game, and you see what happens to him.
Okay, actually, like real ones. Can you think of any ones that like worked out for the people who threw them besides the Aussie one and the
Well, I
Mike one?
mean, it's like I'm trying to think. Like, when was the earliest challenge? Well, I guess yeah, like you just said, Ozzy when he voted out Billy.
Oh,
That was the
I
third
think
challenge.
Ethan threw a challenge in Africa to get
Oh yeah,
out.
he did
Who
to
was
get
it?
out
Silas? Yeah,
Silas, and that
because
actually, and he won the season. So,
Silas got swap straight. Yeah,
but
so there you
that's
go.
like also season
Ethan,
3. That's literally season
Ozzy,
3.
Ozzy, and Mike. That's three. The fact that out of like the probably like 10 plus, maybe 15 plus challenge throws, you got three that worked out. That's less than 20% at least. So
And
I
like the
don't see
3
that
that
working
worked
out.
out, it was like even if they lost the challenge naturally, it would have gone the same way. It's not
I
like
don't
because they
know.
threw the challenge and
Oh
Jenny.
yeah.
Because like what is the Silas one? Yeah, Silas still goes home no matter what. The Billy one, Billy still goes home no matter what. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like it is what it is. So yeah, I just throwing challenge in Survivor just typically isn't a good idea. And I feel like Danny's probably going to be the type of guy that wouldn't throw a challenge if I had to put my money on it. We're
Yeah,
30
I
minutes
mean,
in and we're only in our 14.
which is awesome, but actually it's like also terrifying. All right, let's get to our 13s. At 13, I got Tiffany. I feel like if Yase goes again, Xander's just too developed as a character and has too much of like a winner's edit built up
Mm-hmm.
that it almost feels like he can't go home. Like he's almost untouchable.
I know,
Plus,
right?
he has the whole story with the beware advantage. Like I just like there's so much riding on him. I can't see them building him up this much and then voting him out. And obviously if even and Liana don't flip on each other, that leaves one person, and that's Tiffany. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
true. So yeah, Tiffany's your 13.
Yep.
Guys, who's my 13? It's Tiffany. I
Uh,
feel like Xander has just been established too much as a good guy. You like this guy. He's a hard
yeah,
worker. While Tiffany's like,
Michael,
purple
your type.
butterflies, purple butterflies. I suck at the challenges. Vote out voce. God. And so yeah, Tiffany. I feel like now at this point they really have almost no, and especially because now they know they can win challenges. Now there is really little incentive to keep Tiffany now that it is a possibility they can win challenges because your boy Xander is on their tribe and Xander is the best player ever, so he can win every single challenge. Obviously, yeah, no, that's a
Sure,
joke.
let's go with that.
That's a joke, but yeah,
Yeah.
Tiffany is my 13. So let's get to the 12.
12, I got Jeannie. I think she's a
Let's
terrible
go,
player.
Jenny
I
10, 12. Me too.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
early.
Jeannie for me. I mean, Jeannie will always probably not be at the bottom spot because she'll be dragged to the end if someone can get her to the end. But I think she's almost too hard to get to the end. And because of that, I
Fact.
feel like Jeannie is so bad that she's like actually bad at being bad, and that's how bad she is.
Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
just like
She has
she's
almost no
the
chance to win.
yeah. I think she's the worst player on the season, and the only reason there's anyone who's lower than her is because people are actively in worse situations than her as far as numbers wise. But as far as strategical sense and even really social sense, there's probably no one worse than her on this season, generally.
Yeah, I
And
feel like
also,
she's almost no game.
and also, honestly, physically, also. I mean, I like in all three facets of the game, she's probably the worst player on the season.
I mean, she might be better than Tiffany physically, but like
Maybe,
it's close.
maybe
But it's close. It's
that is
close
close.
though.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'd have to agree. Yeah, Jenny, she's also my number 12. She's always going to be in that bottom 5. The only reason why she isn't the number like is the only reason why that she's like not the bottom one is because she isn't actively playing like a horrible game, but she's
Yeah.
not actively playing a
At
game.
all. Okay. At
So
all. Exactly.
it's kind of like it kind of just balances out somewhere in the bottom 5. I feel like if I had to choose anyone that I would just like die if they won, it'd be Jenny because I feel like she has
Yeah.
almost 0% chance to win. I guess her and Heather are kind of like up there, but at least Heather's on Luvu because she gets that extra
And
bonus
at least
points for being
Heather
on
has
Luvu.
somewhat of like she's a nice lady. We don't care about Jeannie at all. Like zero,
Yeah.
zilch.
Also, she hasn't got any secret scenes. At least Heather got a secret scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jenny hasn't really got anything in the secret scenes. Now she did get one confessional I know about how her number one's Brad, which is great for her because
Yep.
now Brad's gone. So it's kind of just like
True.
I just kind of don't put, and I could see Jenny going home over JD, over Ricardo, over Chantel.
Yep.
You're like I could see that
Agreed.
happening. And we're just gonna have to see what happens in the next episode. But yeah, Jenny's my number 12. So what? Let's get to number 11. Who's your number 11?
Who's your number 11? I got Nasir at number 11.
No way! Oh my god.
You have Nasir at number 11?
Yeah, his stocks dropped so much after that
Yeah.
episode.
Agreed. Guys, I swear to God, we didn't look at each other. We just got on a thing. We talked about the episode and we immediately recorded it. We did not compare notes. This is wow.
This
Yeah.
happened 2
So
episodes in a row now. My God.
yeah, this happened. But at least the last one was all three of us. At least this one's only like two of us. But even then, it's still crazy impressive. So
Yeah.
yeah, for me, Nasir, it drops. I mean, really, what it is I don't. The reason Nasir isn't lower, like isn't in these bottom four, is because his tribe's not going to lose. But if they do lose, I mean, it's
Potentially.
if they do lose, for me, it's either Nasir or it's the person who I'm about to talk about next. And yeah, no, I mean, I feel like the Nasir has gotten negative, positive, negative, positive, and that's not a good edit. As far as like, it's not consistent, and consistent is what you want from your post merge characters during the pre merge.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so the bad thing about Nasir is if his tribe sucked, he would have been the first person voted out,
True.
most likely this season, unless they just went the old classic and good faithfulness voted out Heather. And just I feel like Nasir is gonna be one of those players that just goes up and down the entire season. We
Yeah.
might get some more positive stuff from him the next episode. He does have that huge shield in which he's on Luvu. But that shield is kind of not as powerful anymore because there was talks about throwing a challenge. Now, do I think they'll throw the challenge? I don't think so, but it's always a possibility. Now, with them, wanting to throw a challenge, and I mean, who else would Deshaun want to throw the challenge for? I mean, this year, right? Like, I can't
Yeah.
think any other person he'd want to throw the challenge for
Yep.
at this
Yep.
point. And I guess that means Deshaun at least thinks he has a close bond with Danny because this year never threw out Deshaun's name. He threw out Danny's, so I guess
Yeah.
he wants to throw a challenge in Danny's behalf because he's just a good friend. He's just a good friend,
Yeah.
and yeah, my next person's actually Luvu, which is surprising
Same.
that I have another Luvu this low.
Yeah.
The next Luvu stocks dropped also this episode, but
We'll have to see. I think we disagree on which one, but I
yeah.
I do have. Well, you know what? Okay, Burton, Drew Christie. These are people who initiated. Let's
I
throw a
just want a number
challenge.
10.
Hold on. What?
I know.
Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Hold on. Drew Christie, Burton.
But I have
These
a
are people
speech.
that have initiated a challenge throw. And what happened to them? Where are they? They're gone. Out like as Drake would say. And now, obviously, there's also your Mike Holloways, your Ethans, your Aussies. But when someone throws a challenge, it either really works or it really doesn't. And usually, it could work, and that's why I have Nasir the lowest. But if it were to not work, guess who's coming back on? Devious D-Rad, yes, sir. At number 10, I got Devious D-Rad because if it doesn't work out, the person who it's going to come back and hit in the face is Deshaun.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's it.
I sadly have Mr. Devious licks himself at number 10.
Go!
It just throwing the challenge, in my opinion, is almost never the right move. And I do love Devious I do love Devious licks himself, but it could always go south. And just going to tribal council is something you always want to avoid in Survivor, even if you're in the best of positions. Unless you have immunity in an individual game, you don't want to go to tribal council. Okay, no matter what.
Yep.
No, even if you're Eevee, even if you're Shell. Because if you go to tribal council, there's always that at least 1% chance that you're going to go home. And that 1% chance can always turn into 50. Then it can turn into 75% as the
Yep.
day goes on. The stuff happens behind the scenes. It's just a lot of stuff happens in that, I'm guessing, around 5-hour period before you go to tribal council. So, yeah, sadly, Devious Licks himself is gonna have to be at number 10. I hope he can prove me wrong. I want him to go back up, but we're gonna
I
see what
don't.
happens.
I hope I can
Oh.
laugh in both of your faces and say, I
I
knew
have
it.
him at 10,
What I
bro.
say. Well, okay, but last episode you were right there with Underdog standing him, and so I can't wait.
I had him at 6 last episode.
I hope he drew. I hope he drew Christie's himself out
He's
of this
not
game.
gonna be like, I'm a bad at the manipulative
Well, of course.
game.
But at the same time, I hope he does. All right, moving
Oh,
on
God.
to our number
What's the
9.
hate with Deshaun? Like,
I don't have any. That's the thing. I had someone type a whole essay into my comment section. You know who you are if you're watching this video. Like when I say essay, I mean like I sent it to the group chat. Literally, I had to scroll down down the comment section to finish it. And it's just about like you will have this hatred for Deshaun. And at the end, they were nice and they said, your quality's improved without upload lack of upload. You're doing really good. But most of the thing was just, oh, you're hating on Deshaun. You have a deep rooted hatred. What is this hatred from? I'm borderline offended on Deshaun's behalf. And I was just like, thank you. Have a nice day, Tybee. Because I mean, I think Deshaun. I know personal. I think Deshaun's a cool dude. I think Deshaun is not as good of a player as you guys think he is, and that's just how I personally feel. Period. End of story. And I've made my argument for why I think Deshaun
All
will
right.
be going
All right.
next if
All right.
Nasir doesn't go. All right, number 9. I got. You're right.
Yeah,
Is it number 9?
Yeah, number
No,
9. Number 9.
number
Yeah, number 9.
9. Just didn't really know where to put this person. They've gotten some negative and some positive, and for that reason, I'm just going to put them smack dab in the middle, maybe a little bit lower. This is just kind of where they fit in, and that's Liana. I think we've gotten some positive and some negative, and I feel like what.
You can't make okay. I feel like after Liana, we're gonna have someone else different. But I swear to God, I have Liana at number
You
9.
have Liana at number 9.
Yeah,
Well,
I
go
heard her
ahead.
stocks have been dropping. The big, I want to make a big move. And I'm crying now because I wrote out Voce and I miss him. I don't know what she's talking about. Yeah, I don't think that's good that she got that. Like that's the
Yeah,
only
me
confessional from
neither.
Yasa we really got from the entire episode. It's Liana crying because she wanted to
Aside
make a
from
big move or something like that,
aside
and
from
she
from
actively didn't do that.
aside from Tiffany because she had to get confessional.
Yeah, Tiffany just has to get confessional because we just love Tiffany, obviously.
No. Because of the Night Island, she had to get one because of that. But besides that, yeah,
Oh yeah, true. I totally forgot that she went to the Night Island like for a
yeah.
second. Honestly, I was like,
Her and Sydney just kind of like didn't trust each other, and therefore like ruined both their chances at getting an advantage, which is hilarious. And then just Brad's like, I'm over here just grabbing an advantage. I'll do it. I'm slowly backing away, as they're like having like a cat fight over there. Brad just like snags an advantage out of both their hands.
oh yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead and explain why. You can explain for both of us why Liana's at the spot.
Yeah, like honestly, like she's like the person that's like gonna be loyal to a fault. I think with the women
Yeah.
on this, like she's she's not gonna flip on Evie, and Evie would flip on her. Honestly, I think,
Yeah.
and so that's not a good sign. I feel like that also that she actively wants to keep Tiffany's not a good sign, and she's also not the
Yeah.
one running the tribe either. So I just kind of have to like I just kind of again like I don't really know exactly her trajectory in the game right now, so I kind of just put her in the middle, kind of around number 9. So yeah.
Cool. I can get on your side with that. Yeah, that's exactly why I feel like she's just so in the middle, and on a season right now where there's a lot of people who are playing decently good games. Well, when you're in the middle, you're really like below average, just a teeny bit. All right,
If
we're
we have
good.
if we have the same person next one, something's going on. I don't know. I don't know. Something's going on if we have the same person the next one.
I doubt it. So I
Yeah.
got Xander next.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I don't
Cool.
have Xander
Good.
next.
Good. Yeah, I got Xander next. Just because I mean, although the edit's making him seem invincible, he's like and for all intents and purposes, he should be the one voted out next. If you're EVs from EV's perspective, you need to get him out before his idol activates, or else he's gonna take over your whole freaking tribe. Period.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot afford to take out Tiffany first and then him, because then his idol can get activated. Take him out and then take Tiffany out, and then you go and you and Liana and try and side with the maybe the Lubu or Uwa tribe, depending on which tribe it is, and then from there you can work your way around. If she takes Xander to the merge, he'll probably just shoo his way right in with Danny and Deshaun, and she'll be left on her own. She needs to vote out Xander, but at the same time, the edit makes him feel so invincible that it literally brings him up 6 spots from where he really should be.
Yeah. So I don't have Xander at 8. He's close, but I don't have an 8. So should I just give my 8 now?
Yeah, good.
So this is another person I have no idea what to do with. It's Heather. I just don't know what to do with Heather. Right? I just like she's got no content at all, but I don't think she's gonna go home if Lubu goes to tribal council. Because there's just other targets like Nasir and Deshaun. Those are the two big ones probably right now. And maybe Sydney from what we're getting from the
Heather's my 7.
Xander's my 7.
There you go. So we've talked about each other's sevens now. Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
So I just feel like even though Heather's like the obvious old person gets voted out, strong tribe, she's not gonna be the one that gets voted out because we right now have three
Yeah,
people: Sydney, Deshaun, and Nasir. Because Erica's
yeah.
kind of being like, Sydney's so rash. Oh my god, Sydney's such a rash person. She needs to stop.
Oh yeah, Sydney's like screaming at people in
She threw a
the
knife on
next
the
time.
ground or whatever
Yeah,
because she couldn't
something
start the
scary like
fire.
that.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have the same list right so far if we just switched. All right, so yeah, what are your opinions on Heather? Are they about the same as mine?
They're the same as my number six, which is Erica. They go in the same box. It's just the exact same thing. Period.
Or you're sleeping on Erica. I'm telling you. So you're saying you have the
Yeah,
same opinions about Erica right now? Is
same,
so? Can I get
same.
my six then right
Yeah, go
now?
ahead. Go give your six. Guessing
Mr.
Sydney.
Ricard.
Ah, okay,
My sixth guys is Ricard guys.
okay.
Uh, I didn't
Guys and
you know
guys,
guys. I feel
guys.
guys. I just feel like Ricard is just in a pretty good position right now, guys. I do think there's a chance that he could get flipped on guys because the guys over there don't seem to have like too big of a bond with him, Chantel and JD. While they're in the same alliance, that seems more like situational than actually like uh they're actually like they feel like they're strong together. Like while JD's and Chantel's will like until the next episode seem like they actually like had a bond. Ricard and Chantel's were just more situational, like I said, because they just happen to end up in the same alliance. So they don't. I just don't think like Chantel hasn't much incentive to keep around Ricard, and even though now JD's like has given Chantel every reason to not trust her, she still keeps him. I feel like at this point now, if JD doesn't screw up, she's just gonna keep around JD. And I feel like Ricard goes home. Like I don't know if he goes home over Ginny, but I feel like it's a possibility. I mean, again, Ginny was like all the way at 12 and Ricard's at 6.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ginny probably has a higher chance, but it's not impossible that Ricard does get voted out. So we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah, I mean, like using my brain, you say like in your head, it's like, oh, it has to be JD. Like that's why we have him at bottom. Like theoretically, it has to be him, right? Because he had such a terrible episode. He looks like he's gonna have a terrible episode again. But the thing is, because at this point, Chance kept him so many times, despite all the stuff he's done, you almost feel like now it's like kind of like the whole like a abusive relationship type of thing, where like she keeps coming back. She keeps coming back over and over again. At this point, he can do whatever he wants, and she's going to come back every single time. And so I feel like at this point, it's almost like JD can do anything he wants, and she's going to come back to him. And if that's the case, then that leaves only Genie or Ricard.
Mhm.
Probably Genie in that scenario, but it also could be Ricard there, honestly.
Yeah, so yeah, I think Ricard does have a chance, and if Ua goes to the tribal council next episode, I mean,
Ricard's my 5, by the way, so you're talking for me.
can I go to 5 then right now?
Yeah, good.
My 5, I know you're not happy about this because he's your winner pick or whatever. It's Danny McRae.
Okay.
Just like he's
That's my 4.
okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, Danny McRae just the type like he's not gonna get voted out the
Yeah.
next episode. I really don't see any way he gets voted out. Like he had to royally screw over himself if he gets voted out because Deshaun's trying to throw a challenge on the behalf of Danny right now. And I feel like they're not dumb enough to vote out Danny. Like Yasa would be dumb enough to vote out Danny, but Luvu, well, they're kind of dumb,
No
but
way.
they're not dumb in the way when it comes to strength. Well,
No
Yasser's
way.
dumb for strength. Like the brains of Luvu is always about strength. So I feel like Luvu is just the type of tribe that's going to keep around Danny. The only reason why he's not number 1 is because he's right now. I think he has the trajectory of like that typical early merge boot. But at least I know
Yeah.
he'll get to the merge. I can't say that about other people. At least I have almost 100% like guarantee that Danny will get to the merge. I can't say that about Tiffany, JD, Jenny, Nasir, Deshaun,
Yeah.
Liana. You know, I can't say that about those people, but I can say that about Danny that I think he's almost 100% guaranteed to get to the merge. It's just the only reason why he's not higher is because I feel like he's probably an early merge boot if he doesn't win out.
I agree with everything you just said. I think everything you said has truth to it. I think Danny is in that spot where it's like right in that happy medium, but I don't know how happy it's gonna be for how long, unless he can really kick it in the gear at the merge, like a Jeremy or a Tony does, where he just stays low and he gets to the merge, and then he just slams it into gear. And I feel like that's it. His way to win is to play like Jeremy. I've said it 1,000 times, and if he can do that, he wins. If he can't, he loses. Period.
He did say one of his favorite players was Jeremy. So
Well, there
I
you
guess
go.
there's that. So I go to my number 4 now, right? I guess.
Yes.
Number 4 is Erica. So
Ugh.
uh, that's only what like 2 spots ahead of what you had her. So
I
it's not
guess
like
so. I guess so.
I just
Whatever.
I just don't see her going home, honestly, because like again we have those big
Yeah.
targets
Yep.
and Danny or not Danny, sorry, Deshaun, Nasir, and Sydney. I feel like even though Danny is like the most physical person on the tribe, I still think Erica is probably well more insulated because I feel like she's gonna have a better social game than Danny. We just haven't really seen anything from Danny. We're probably going to see more of him in the next episode, if I had to guess. But we also got a confessional with Erica, so who knows? And I just think Erica is well. She might not be the most fun character. Do I think she's going to win? I mean, no. I think she's just pretty
Yeah.
well insulated in her tribe right now, and I think she'd have to. I think she'd have to do something herself to get voted out instead of like someone saying something about her. I think she'd have to go and actively ruin her game to get voted out. If Luvu went to tribal council, and the reason why she is something that probably boosted her 2 or 1 spots is it. I mean, again, she's on Luvu, so it's kind of like
I mean, yeah, I never said I think she's gonna go home. I've never made that argument that I think she's ever gonna go home. Like
yeah.
that's not why I'm lowering her. I'm lowering her because I feel like she's not playing a good game and she can't win. Like guys, it's for me, it's it really isn't even a good game part. It's just I think she has no shot of winning. I just see I don't see a winner's edit. I don't see a backbone. I don't see a final travel speech. I don't see any of that. I just see none of it. I see all of it and being not there.
She could
That's
kind of get
just
like a Michelle trajectory. If like I'm not saying like that's happening,
yeah.
right?
No,
But Michelle, I think, got almost no content in the pre-merge, so it's not impossible. But
tell me
I
one.
don't think she's gonna win.
Tell me one of her confessionals.
I didn't say I think she was gonna win. Tell me
Exactly,
one of
exactly.
Michelle's confessionals in the freaking first episode. Like
She talked about the first episode.
no,
Well,
this
no,
wait,
no, no,
the
no.
second episode or the third. I
Well,
don't know, whichever one. Your
when,
choice. Dealer's choice.
okay. So the big one for me that really hit me in the pre-merge of hers was when Nick was talking to her and she's saying that I don't respect when a man talks to me like that. I wouldn't allow a man to talk to me like that in real life. That's one.
Well, Michelle's
Tell
more
me
of a
what. Tell me one from that you heard from Erica that is even close to as memorable as that.
I'm not saying it's memorable. I'm just saying she at least
I'm just
got a confessional, and also she's probably not as fun as a character as Michelle. I think she's got 2
yeah.
confessionals, right? Let me check the thing. Snuff sent.
I think so. Yeah.
I think it's 2 confessionals. Like, is she gonna be as
Michelle
good as a character as Michelle? I mean, no.
Michelle really honestly got like a good edit. Like Michelle didn't really
She
get
just
her.
didn't get a heavy edit.
Yeah, well, she didn't get some crazy edit, but like she got like she didn't get like Natalie White. Like people think because like like everyone looks at Aubrey. Michelle was under-edited. No, Michelle wasn't under-edited. Like
Now look
she
at
got
Natalie
the edit.
White.
Yeah, Michelle got the edit. It was just her character isn't that strong. That's why. It's really what it was.
Mm-hmm. Natalie
All right.
White's just boring and a
Yeah,
bad
Natalie White just
player of
didn't
Survivor, I
play the
guess.
game.
I don't know.
Exactly.
She killed a rat, guys. Oh my god. All right,
She
so
killed her rat. She killed a rat, guys.
so let's get to our number 3 then, right?
Yep. Number 3, I got Sydney.
No.
I got Sydney. There you go. You I'm guessing you have Sydney also.
No, I said no because I have her a tiny bit higher. You want to talk about
So
Sydney?
you've now so I'm guessing you kicked Evie out. I'm guessing, but
Yeah, no,
we'll see.
I had Evie in third last episode,
Yeah.
and I have her third again, baby. Let's
Third
go.
again.
Evie, whatever, at third. Again, the only reason why she's third and not first or second is because she's on a tribe that can lose. Now they did win. That's cool, but like I don't know if they can keep it up, right? So
Yeah.
and the fact that she's okay with losing challenges, even though she's insulated, it's like you never know. What if Xander gets his stuff and then he plays it, and oh my god, Evie goes some again. If he did actually play it, I think he'd probably vote out Tiffany or Lana. But still,
but
she.
how in the world does he get his stuff activated?
I'm just saying
before they can vote him out.
At least Sydney and Chantel have a less likely chance of going to tribal because I basically have the same opinion. My top 3 basically have the same opinions on, just they're different, a little varied. And the person that is most likely to go to tribal is going to be in third and not second. So that's kind of why
I
Evie
guess so.
is at
But
third.
I honestly think that Ua and Yase are on the same level. It's just that Ua just got lucky twice in a row, really. Or no, I mean, honestly, what it is Ua and Yase both lost, right? Even. And then Yase lost one and Ua lost one. Really, like, we've been so like this whole, Yase is dwindling. But really what it is that Yase feels like it's dwindling because now there's only like 3 votes left on the tribe because Xander can't vote. Really, Yase and Ua are at the same number, so
It's
it could
actually
be
false, technically. They
what?
lost the first challenge. Ua is up in challenges by 1. Math.
What do you mean?
Ua won the first challenge ever in the season.
Oh,
The very
yeah.
first
If
challenge.
you count the marooning challenge, sure.
Yeah,
I'm not.
they're 3
I'm
2.
not.
3 2.
I'm not.
Ua
Yeah, I'm
challenge
not.
beasts.
I'm not counting the get
It really
the
should have been
paddles
Lubu
off
who
the.
won that. I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah,
but
exactly. And so if that's the case, now you're back to 2-2, which is
Mhm.
exactly what they are. And that's all I'm saying. It's like I feel like as much as we're selling Yase as this train wreck, I feel like it's gonna be back and forth between Ua and Yase, just like we predicted preseason. Ua and Yase are gonna swap losses. Luba's going to dominate, and then from there we'll have to see. I had Sydney at 3 because I feel like right now she has the most connections in the tribe. She also has the biggest edit. I mean, that's it. I mean, I think it's pretty simple. Reason why. Like she has all good things going good for her, other
Mhm.
than maybe still like a little bit of negative content, but her content's a lot more positive than we thought going in. It was going to be
Yeah.
obviously.
I mean, again, I have Evie at third. Like, again, like I
Yep.
am very high on Evie. This is just why she's 3, not 2, basically. The reason why I'm
Cool.
trashing on Evie right now is just explaining why she's 3, not 2. So should we get to our 2s then right now?
Yep. Let's do it.
All right, you go first.
My number 2 is Evie. I think
Mhm.
that Evie is in the second best position only because now at this point, Chantel. So beforehand, last week, I had been selling my whole idea was there. Evie and Chantel had the same level of dominance in their tribe. It's just that maybe Chantel has a bit more options, but the issue is that Evie is more mathematically secure because her numbers are smaller. Now that Chantel's numbers are smaller, she is now more mathematically secure for me than Evie is. Because of the fact that now they're even, and because Chantel's a little bit more dominant than Evie is, now there's no thing that puts Evie over the top now because they're both at 4 now. They're both at very small numbers, and so for that reason, Evie does slip below Chantel for me. But obviously, they're both fantastic. I think
Mhm.
I think for me the trio from all each tribes have to be Sydney, Evie, and Chantel. I think that's not really up for
Yeah.
debate. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of Sydney, Sydney's my number 2. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah,
Yeah.
she's I think her getting the biggest edit from the Luvu tribe is a pretty good sign of her
Yep.
longevity. Now we did get that one confessional from Erica that Sydney's acting rash, but it's from Erica. So I mean, like,
Well,
I don't know.
that's also in the next time on. So technically, if we're doing power rankings, we're doing it based on the episodes. You know what I mean?
True, true, true. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, just I feel like Sydney, good position. I don't think they'll be voting her out. It's gonna be probably Nasir or uh Devious Licks. So we're
Devious
just gonna
licks.
the Sean Radin. I'm so sad I have to put him number 10. I'm so sad I put him in number
I'm
10.
so happy.
I'm not. I wasn't happy that I put Xander at 16. Okay, like I don't. Do
Nah,
you have
you
like some
were.
personal hatred towards like Deshaun? I don't
Oh
get like
yeah,
you've just been
oh
hating
yeah.
on Deshaun the
Deshaun.
entire
You know,
game.
Deshaun bullied me in middle school. That's what it was. You know, I
You're
had a
like you've
secret.
just been so like negative on Deshaun. I'm like, why?
Yeah, no, Deshaun, he took my Doritos at lunch in high school, and I just never recovered personally, emotionally from that experience. So
Mm.
that's what it is. No, yeah. Are we gonna move on to number ones or
Yeah, our number ones are the same
same
though.
ones? Yep, it's
Mhm.
Chantel. It's not
Chantel,
even close.
baby, yeah, woo.
And she's I think before last week, right? Last week she was more dominant than Evie, but Evie had smaller numbers, and the numbers always beat dominance for me at least because numbers are numbers. That's how they work. But
Mhm.
now that they're even numbers, I think it's no question Chantel has more options, and if she had voted out someone like a genie, then she would have even more options because then she can go Brad or J Dillon Tribe. But now that she's voted out Brad, the only person on her tribe that's not literally in love with her is Jeannie, and no one cares about Jeannie because she has no power. So there you go. And on Evie, the only person who's not in love with her is nobody. But the issue is that she's not as in control because Xander does have had that idol that could be activated, and I feel like that's really what puts the edge now. Is
Yeah,
Chantel's bonds are closer with everybody. Like no, whereas in Liana thinks that Evie's her number one. Tiffany doesn't really have number one, and neither does Xander. Whereas everybody thinks that Shan is her number one. I mean, like, so I feel like she has more dominance on her tribe than Evie does on her tribe, and I think it's really not even close to be really frank, honestly.
Mhm. Also, I just want to say I forgot to say this, but happy 600 episode from what
Yep.
2 weeks ago. That was crazy. 2
Yep.
weeks ago, no, one
Happy
week ago was the
600.
600 episode. So this was the
Yep.
601 episode. It's kind of crazy that we're above 600 episodes. So like, yeah, this episode was the 601th episode. So
Crazy stuff.
happy 601th
Happy
episode
birthday,
anniversary.
Survivor. Happy birthday. Happy
So
birthday.
what? We have to get to Survivor 60 or 70 something to get to
Yeah,
to
to
a
get to
1,000.
1,000. That'd be crazy. If we get to 1,000, that'd be insane.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I think Survivor's a type of show that, like, if it went off air, it'd probably come back eventually to like
yeah,
test out the waters. Maybe like 5-10 years later, to test out the
yeah.
waters, see if it gets good reviews. But
New
yeah,
host.
so our power rankings were scarily similar for the
Yeah,
most part.
they were. I mean, so okay, hold on, I'll go through it. JD same, Tiffany same, Jeannie same, Nasir same, Deshaun same, Liana same, and then Xander and Heather were swapped, right?
Yeah, just they're literally the next two, so
And
they
then
swapped them, they're
Erica
the
and
same.
Danny were swapped.
Mhm.
Or something like that, and then like Ricard was in somewhere in the mix, and then we both had Sydney, Evie, and Chantel in our top three. That's you're right. That is like eerily similar, like way too similar.
Yeah, spooky month too. Ooh, spooky. I
Oh,
just feel like we have the same opinion about Survivor usually, so we're gonna have like close to similar.
agreed. That's why we make such good co-hosts.
I
You
know,
just
right?
you agree with me with no argument, and you're a good submissive co-host. Good job.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, except for when you put Deshaun in like the last week at
Then you're not
16.
such a submissive co-host, but that's okay
You weren't nice
because
to me when I put Xander at 16.
listen,
Man.
I want to make sure I'm extra mean to you.
Oh my god.
No. But guys, as always, what is going on your channel, Skylander? Tell everybody, tell the people what they want to hear. They want to know what's going
It's
on.
not Survivor. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but it's even better. I'm just kidding. It's well, maybe it is. Who knows? It all depends on your point of view. Skylanders, right now I got about a weekly upload schedule. I'm taking a week off to edit one big video I got coming out on the 16th, which is the 10-year anniversary
Check it
of
out.
Skylanders, which I guess kind of is like similar to the 20-year anniversary of Winners at War. Same vibe, same vibe, same vibe.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, guys, you already know. Look him up. Skylanders, amazing guy. He does all my thumbnails. So every time you guys compliment me in the comments about my thumbnails, you should just go to his channel and watch a bunch of videos and give him a lot of money. Okay, guys.
True,
Guys,
true.
thank you guys as always. Hit the like button on this video right now so that other people just like you can see the video. Thank you. If you're joining the family, it really means a lot. If you guys can continue to click on the video when it pops up in your feed, it helps me out so much, and I will continue to make these videos. Suggestions in the comments. I'll do most of them, if not all of them. And guys, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. You guys make this the most fun experience ever being a Survivor YouTuber. I wouldn't trade it for anything else in the world. I wouldn't want to be any other YouTuber, maybe a Skylander YouTuber, but only because I want to, take Skylander's market. But that's just because I'm a terrible person, guys. I mean, no, guys. But again, see you guys. Peace out. Talk to you guys on Monday. I'll see you guys on Monday.